You can't truly forgive without failing. And let me tell you what I mean. In my teens, I had gone through a life after death experience. I was met by someone and told that it wasn't my time to be there yet. When I came back, I didn't want to come back, but when I came back, it was with an understanding and attention of having this gift of my life and doing things right. In the process of filling my cup of what my concept was of doing, I realized that my cup was filled with perception. I didn't leave my cup empty for anything that divine intelligence might have to offer. I was not very forgiving of self, so I would point the finger and say, well, you can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. And I hurt a lot of people in that process. People very close to me, people whom I love dearly. What's happened in the past year, the ability to do, in my perception, was removed from me. I had a lot of time for inner reflection and to understand that if I had thought I'd forgiven people, I really hadn't, because I was able to look at things that I thought were successes and also see them that in some cases they were failures as well. What happened then through that process was, in realizing that those were failures, I was able to forgive where before I had put myself in a place of righteous position. So, having grown up in an environment where my father figure was very violent, a lot of the trauma that resurfaced for me, and that I used that trauma as an excuse to judge. Then when he would try and express his concern for things that we as adults may or may not be doing, rather than forgive him that, I judged him for that and I called him out on it. Some of you might think that that wasn't necessarily wrong. Well, right or wrong, it happened. I lost that relationship. Righteousness went into a position of non-forgiveness. I felt like I couldn't forgive him for who I was as an adult until I could look and see in the mistakes that I made with my children. But what happened is I was able to see my dad from a different point of view, because I could see the failures that I had made with my own children and my expectations of them and choices that I made. By being a doer, I undoubtedly become very neglectful in the upbringing of my children. It impacted them, traumatized them with that. In being a doer, what some might have seen as success, because I was making money and purchasing a home and doing this, that, and the other thing that successful people might be considered in our culture, I was failing them. And being able to see myself do that and be that, I was able to truly understand what forgiveness meant. And I believe that, circling back to why I had to come back when I died, wasn't so that I could make anything of my life, but to learn how to just be, and to understand that we're not perfect. When I died, I was definitely in an innocent phase of my life. I didn't get to embrace the kind of love that comes with allowing us to just be what we were created to be, and see the beauty in that.